The Health Belief Model, presented by Eli Alston. A brief overview. The health belief model is based on the combined works of multiple social psychologists and public health professionals. It is one of the first theories developed with health-related behaviors in mind. It is based on the idea that by focusing on 6 specific constructs, you can drive human behavior. These constructs are perceived susceptibility, perceived severity, perceived benefits, perceived barriers, cues to action, and self-efficacy. All 6 of these constructs work together to shape health behavior. Some common applications of the health belief model include screening behaviors. This includes things like vaccinations, getting your blood pressure checked regularly, or even cancer screenings. Preventative behaviors. This includes things like encouraging people to quit smoking or visit your physician more regularly or incorporate fruits and vegetables into your diet to prevent malnutrition. Health promotion behaviors, which includes promoting things like safe sex, healthy dieting, and physical activity. And then treatment compliance behaviors, which refers to things like taking medicine as prescribed and directed by your physicians and listening to your instructions from your doctor. How does this model explain etiology? This theory uses human beliefs about the basic elements to determine why humans participate in unhealthy behaviors. If we are able to determine why someone is participating in a behavior, we are better able to gain an idea of how to change that behavior. This is relevant due to the fact that the health belief model has been used as the basis for multiple interventions and studies, including things like construction of behavioral research models, screening for different diseases, protection from different diseases, and health education as a form of prevention. Today, we will apply the health belief model to increasing physical activity. The first construct is perceived susceptibility. Perceived susceptibility refers to one's personal beliefs about their likelihood of getting sick or finding themselves in a harmful state from a behavior. For the purposes of our case, changing a patient's perceived susceptibility would be something like informing patients about statistics surrounding cardiovascular disease and lack of physical activity. Perceived severity. Perceived severity refers to one's personal beliefs about the gravity of the situation if they do end up sick or harmed from a behavior. For the purposes of our case, in order to impact our patient's perceived severity, we would want to discuss the serious negative consequences that not being physically active can have. If you're an experienced physician, you might be able to include personal stories of patients you've encountered in the past. This will help emphasize the gravity of the situation to your patients and make them want to change their behavior. The third construct is perceived benefits. Perceived benefits refers to belief in the advantages or incentives associated with changing or adopting a behavior. For the purposes of our case, something like describing the health benefits of increasing physical activity to your patients would encourage them to want to become more physically active. The decreased risk for cardiovascular disease, as well as increased overall energy, are just 2 of the incentives that becoming physically active will have. Perceived barriers. Perceived barriers are beliefs about obstacles that we must overcome in order to implement a new positive behavior or quit a negative one. A 2017 study surrounding physical activity in pregnant women found that perceived barriers are the greatest predictor of self-efficacy, another one of the constructs of the health belief model. For the applications of our case, we would want to clear up any misconceptions about physical activity and encourage people to make it a part of their daily routine. By slowly transitioning and making it a part of your daily routine, it doesn't seem like as much of a chore. Cues to action. Cues to action refers to the force that drives someone and encourages them to participate or stop participating in a behavior. For the purposes of our case, you would want to implement something like a reminder or encouragement system. Getting encouragement and positive feedback would encourage patients to continue on in the positive direction they're moving in. And by recognizing their progress, you are making them aware that you value how they're feeling and how they're doing. The final construct is self-efficacy. Self-efficacy refers to the amount of control one believes they have over a situation or belief in their ability to complete a behavior. For the purposes of our case, you would want to emphasize to a patient that it is never too late to start becoming physically active and that they are in command of the situation. A 2016 study about the relationship between symptoms of mental illnesses and physical activity found that self-efficacy is the most influential construct in increasing physical activity. This is incredibly important for the purposes of our application. These are the references I used in the creation of this presentation. Thank you for listening.